a don't text and drive pledge, and this was in Ohio because in the state of Ohio it's illegal to text and drive. So upon further investigating, when I found out that Ohio it was illegal, I went on the Governor's Highway Safety Association, and I found out there were 10 states that banned the handheld cell phone use, period, that you can't even use your handheld in the car. And over 39 states, to include Kentucky, it is illegal to text and drive. I was blown away by that statistic, but I did not know that I could not text and drive in the state of Kentucky, that I could get a ticket for that. Texting increases the risk of accidents more than talking on the telephone. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention says every day 15 people are killed, 1,200 are injured in crashes, and there are 3 types of distractions. The visual, which is your eyes. You have to keep your eyes on the road at all times. The second type is the manual. You're supposed to keep your hands on the steering wheel. And if you're texting, you can't do that. So that's the second distraction. And third is the cognitive. How can you keep your mind on what you're supposed to be doing on the road if you're thinking about what you're texting on the phone? So how big is this problem? It's pretty big. 9% of the drivers in the United States today regularly text on their phone while driving. 52% at least once a month, and 25% do it regularly, every single day. The risk of texting and driving, I can show you what the risks are. Crashing, just taking your eyes off the road for only a second could cause this. And this has been a head-on collision with a semi-truck. They just looked away for briefly, and within 3 seconds they hit a truck head-on. And in my second, this was a high-class person. They were rich, so it doesn't cross all economic boundaries. So it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. You're texting and driving, you can run into a pole. It's the same. And the younger the driver, the 20% more of a risk of your chances of having an accident. So how many of us in this classroom, in my audience, and you two out in the audience, out there in my classroom, have teenagers in their family? I'm pretty sure a lot of you do. Kentucky doesn't have driver's education classes. I found that they don't have driver's ed in school. So we need to educate our teens especially about the dangers of texting and driving. Don't text and drive. Because our sons, imagine our sons and daughters going to a graduation. I saw a story on the internet about someone's daughter going to a graduation, and they were trying to text somebody while they were driving to see where they were at. And they never made it to the graduation. The person they were texting continued to text them, but they were in the ICU because they ran it off the road and their body was flung 300 feet from their car, but the person they were texting didn't even know that had happened. So that calls for our action. So there are ways that we can prevent this. We can use Safe Text app. We can get Safe Text apps, and they're free on our cell phones. So that when you get on your phone, when you get in your car, you can't text on your phone even if you wanted to. That's something they just came up with on our cell phones. I just learned that myself. You can also use hands-free devices such as the one I have in my ear. You can speak text now. You can speak and text and say send, and the message will send without even using your hands. So, and then lastly, of course, just don't text and drive You can wait, pull over to the side of the road if it's that important. That's saving people's lives. So in conclusion, LOL, LMBO, and where are you while driving is definitely not important. Pull over to the side of the road. Unless you have a hands-free device or a device you can speak, text, just don't text and drive to save lives. Thank you very much, and I hope that you won't text and drive. Thank you.
Thank you. They're still here.